We kick off Saturday's press conferences with the driver of both the number 62 South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and the number 62 South Point Chevrolet in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This is your home track, Brendan. Very good stats here in the Xfinity Series. 4 starts, 2 top 10s, best finish of 5th in 2012. Talk about being home.
No, home is always fun, but home also has some headaches that come along with it. But racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, this place has always been so special to me. Even since my old race shop was over turn 1, we still have Carrera racing engines over there. That's still the engine shop. So this town is definitely special to the Gaughn family, and racing here at the Speedway, the number of laps I have here, the amount of friends and family that will be here, and colleagues and coworkers and everybody. It's so much fun to be in this town. It's unlike anybody's home race. Everybody calls Charlotte their home or this or that. It's a different feel for us here, and honored to come here, honored to be as good as we are in the Xfinity car, and extremely happy that we made the Cup show. Never a doubt, made it easy. That's what my grandfather always said. And so we're in the race, and we'll keep on digging.
All right, thanks, Brendan. Any questions for Brendan? We'll start over here with Stan.
Hey, Brendan. Stan Creekmore with CompetitionPlus.com.
CompetitionPlus.com. Keep adding names on that.
Well, mostly for drag races.
Sorry,
but I'm their NASCAR guy, so thank you. So I kind of was going to ask you the question that you've already touched on. So is Las Vegas Motor Speedway the most intense, demanding, and is the quietest moment in your time when you get to strap in and race versus everything else for this weekend?
The quietest moment of this week will be when my ECR motor fires and it has 300 decibels coming out of the exhaust pipe. That will be my quietest moment of the day, yes. It is a very unique race and it's unique because of my family, because of our relationships, because of what this town is to us. So it becomes very unique. And there are goods and bads with that, but you know what? In the end, it's all fun. Even the headaches that come with it, even the fact that I'm sitting here right now, that the lovely Las Vegas Motor Speedway ran me 4 last-minute tickets to tomorrow's race. Even those things, I'm getting ready to get in a race car, and I'm still trying to fulfill friends' ticket requests. Even that is fun. Because it's just, so many things in life people let get overwhelming. People let get, do these things too. And so to me, it's a deal of, I always remember that it's fun. I always remember that there is so much worse in life that can happen, and I'm still driving a dang race car. So I enjoy it. Even though it's been a headache, I met one of my military buddies this morning delivering 12 suite tickets and 15 outside tickets to my military guys, the combat controllers that I do stuff with. And I mean, trying to get those, I was at the side of Range Road delivering tickets 20 minutes ago before I got here. So, I mean, you can look at that and let it overwhelm you, or you can look at it and just say, you know what, this is a dang cool life. And so I always remember that, and I try to. And a great story today out of my alma mater, Georgetown. Going to make me tear up when I say it, but this morning I woke up and it made me so much realize just how lucky. There's a senior on that team that's been sick since he was a freshman, and they gave him a scholarship for 4 years, even though he couldn't play a game. And he's starting today. NCAA gave him a waiver for 1 game. So he's going to be allowed to play maybe 30 seconds. He's got a heart condition, one of the Hank Gather style thing. And other schools were actually going to let him play. And the young man gave up a chance at anything to be a Georgetown graduate. Pretty freaking cool. And so he's starting today. So I saw, sorry. It's a big deal to me. Watch a young kid go through that. So Tyler Adams is his name. I think that's just so freaking cool. So for me to remember this stuff, I love it. Sorry.
Okay. Chris? Chris Knight?
Okay, I'm back. I can draw off. Oh. Chevy taking care of itself. Oh. It's a long week. It's just because I'm tired. That's it. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Brandon. Chris, MikeHedgeFence.com. It's been 2003 since you last won here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but those RCR cars yesterday in practice looked pretty sporty. Reminded me of Kentucky.
Not bad.
Reminded me of Kentucky Speedway last fall, where you guys went to victory lane. How do you like your chances for today?
A lot of similarities. You know, you look at a bumpy racetrack. You look at a little bit flatter than some of the places. You know, this place now has the cool parabolic banking, but it's still flatter than a lot of the places we race. So, you know, a lot of comparisons. We actually came with our South Point Chevy. Shane said we are trending very similar to Kentucky. So hopefully that bodes well for the, you know, the RCR boys. Austin was quick. I actually never even got to do a real qualifying run. I was taped up for qualifying, and yesterday I looked like Schlepprock. Every time I touched the racetrack, somebody in front of me did something really, really, really dumb. And so on the one mock qualifying run I had, I didn't even get a full lap in at speed. So to be that quick, we actually thought we'd drop like a stone, and it stayed. So I think we're very strong, and there are some similarities, and hopefully there's another glaring similarity at the end of the day. That would be the way I want it to end, at least.
Doug?
Brendan, how much exchange of information on a typical race weekend is there between you and your teammates? Do you guys sit down and debrief, or how does all that work?
It's more on the engineering and crew chief side, and it's RCR, ECR is really cool. I've been on a lot of teams. This one really does function very well. They have their own meetings, blah, 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 but now we have all these computers. And thanks to Xfinity, the way NASCAR is doing we're all getting internet. I don't know if the media know, we're all getting internet in the trailers now. You know, they give us live hookups and blah, blah, blah. So the internet functions. You know, so we're actually getting live data from each team. Each engineer is plugging in what he's changing, and we see it on the 62, on what the 33 is doing. So it's really a really fascinating race team to be on, and they do share everything. It's a big, giant thing. Now, the drivers, me being so busy going back and forth, I haven't had a chance to really talk with the other guys. But, you know, I'm kind of the oldest guy. I'm more than the oldest guy in that shop. So, you know, I'm always there if they need help. And if I need help, I'll definitely go find Austin or go find Ty or somebody and ask something what they're doing. But otherwise, the driver's side, we attend those meetings and give our feedback on what we're thinking. And yesterday was probably a very fun meeting that I got to miss, because I'm sure everybody was smiling much more than before.
Any other questions for Brendan? Chris, follow up.
Chris Knight, CatchMass.com again. Premium Motorsports. A lot of people were surprised when you were tapped to drive that car.
So was I.
Can you talk about what your decision was in going with there, and are you happy with the progression that the team made to land on this weekend?
Well, I'm happy we were 35th in points from last year. You know, look, Jay Robinson's a very, very nice man. He's worked very hard in this sport for a very long time. And I've never been one that was going to prolong my career by sitting, you know, by just trying to run races. I want to be able to be out there and win races. And that's what I get to do with RCR, with the Xfinity Series. And Jay Robinson came to me with a very unique opportunity. He's got a new team for him, newer equipment for him, and he has a goal that he wants to get this team to. We don't have a lot of sponsorship. We don't have a lot of fancy bells and whistles, and it's really fun going. I had a young Riley Herbst with me, a young man, local boy of the Terrible Herbst, you know, family, and he's running legend cars and is doing late models and the spec trucks this year, and so he wants to be a race car driver, which I'm trying to vehemently talk him out of, and so he followed me yesterday, and it was really fun to watch a 16-year-old see just the differences in you know, I go to my Cup garage, and it's a very different environment than my Xfinity garage. And even a 16, you know, he was noticing it, and I was telling him, I was reminding him that, you know, no matter where you're at racing in life, don't disrespect any of this garage. Everybody works their tail off, whether you're in the front side of the garage or the back side. Everybody is working hard to be in these races. So Jay had a goal. He needed a driver that he felt could fulfill that goal and would be able to keep his equipment in one piece. And I'm a guy that, you know, he feels could fill that bill. And so far, it's working out well. You know, we were Atlanta, finished 28th. Our goal was really to beat certain teams, to gain points, and maybe be around the low 30s, mid 30s. And we came home 28th. We overachieved. So now the goal is this week. We made the race, fortunately. And now the goal is the same. Let's try to get to that low 30s and see if we can't maybe pick up a top 30 again. I have different goals than the owner, of course, because I'm going to always want to be better. And Zach McGowan's the crew chief. He's a really, really nice young man. First kind of foray into crew chiefing. Did a little bit last year and this year. And my crew chief, Ed, they both work hard. They do great. And we're just going to keep chipping away at it, try to keep getting that team better to accomplish Jay's goals. And if we can get those goals, it gives me a full year of Sprint Cup racing that now I have experience on again in these race cars, and it makes me more valuable. No, it's not an RCR affiliated team at all. Nope. It's Jay was able to purchase like 4 motors in the Tommy Baldwin deal, and ECR is refreshing those motors. So I'll have ECR motors once in a while, and then it's Pro Motor for the rest of the time. And like I said, both are hardworking guys and hardworking groups. And but there's a few ECR motors I'll have. There'll be Pro Motors most of the time. And if I'm not going to say if Richard doesn't want to throw me a bone here or there, I'm not going to take it.
I think we have time for one more, and he's got to get out to practice. We'll end it on you, sir.
Hi, Brendan. Russell Clevenstein, Hoobazoo.com, drafting the circuits. It's still very early in the season, but can you tell us with the new engine package how you like the way it races?
In the Sprint Cup car?
Difference? Correct.
The problem is my bulk experience in Sprint Cup is with a much older package. I did run races the last bunch of years for Richard and sometimes in the Sprint Cup series, so I don't have all the experience. But, it's definitely more like an Xfinity car. You used to come to Vegas and you're talking, the old days where it was the old style car. I mean, you light switched it coming into turn 1, grabbed 200 pounds of brake pedal and really had to woe that thing down to get it to turn. Now, I think I even heard Jeff Gordon say he almost flat-footed the lap yesterday. I mean, he was, you're really driving these things so hard. It's definitely a driver-style race car. I think it's going to be fun for a lot of the guys. I think guys like Jeff and Jimmy and Kevin will excel because of this style racing, and all the guys that have been doing Xfinity racing lately will excel. So it's way different than it was, and it is a little bit more like the Xfinity car, but it's still its own animal. It's a lot looser, a lot less downforce, a lot more moving around, and that makes for a fun race car to drive from a driver's standpoint.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Brendan, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.